Good morning, students. Students, in our previous class, we studied history, chapter 1, Arrival of Europeans in India. In that chapter, we had covered various topics like the European settlers that had a keen interest to find their route through sea. So they were interested to do trading with India with the help of sea route. Then we saw the powers and authorities that the British had with it, the territories, the British mind, and the British aim to increase their wealth and profit, and they had a good competition. The British had good competition with Dutch as well as with French. So the British got victory in every territory. So, in our today's class, we will see the expansion of British rule between 1757 CE and 1857 CE. So, as we can see that the British rule is being highlighted here in 3 years. That is, in 1797 in India there was not much British rule, it was less. The territories or states which were covered under British rule were less. They are marked in blue color. In 1840, the British rule conquered many states and territories. So we can see that the blue mark is increasing, right? Then in the year 1857, maximum or major territories were under control of British rule. So local rule was very minimum and British conquered in various states and territories and showed their power. So let us understand this. By this time the East India Company, East India Company was established by British, was in a race to earn more and more money, as we can see that it had covered maximum territories under it. As per the order passed in Bengal, only the company availed the benefit of tax-free trading. However, many officers who were engaged in private trade did not pay the taxes as well. So, by taking the benefit of tax-free policy, the British did not wanted to pay the tax. However, many officers who were engaged in private trade also did not pay the taxes as well. As a result, the income generated from the tax collection in Bengal reduced, which in turn was opposed by the Nawab of Bengal. So, as East India Company was not interested to pay the tax, the income generated from the tax collection showed a less result, or the income was low, and as the income generated was low, the Nawab of Bengal did not like it. The Nawab of Bengal, Murshid Qali Khan, opposed this dispute kept on recurring even during the time of Ali Vardi Khan. So the dispute had a long turns. After Ali Vardi Khan, his son Sirajuddaulah took charge. So the Ali Vardi Khan's son named Sirajuddaulah took the charge. He got involved into a major battle with British. So now let us see Battle of Plassey now. Sirajuddaulah became Nawab of Bengal in the year 1756. Now Sirajuddaulah was the son of He was a son of Ali Vardi Khan. So, he had an overwhelming influence over the British. The British helped the competitors of Sirajuddaulah by conspiring against him so that he would not remain on the throne of Bengal. There were frequent conflicts with the British merchants regarding payment of taxes. So, as Britishers wished not to pay taxes, and they forced local traders to pay their taxes and not the British traders to pay. When the British merchants failed to pay taxes, which were applicable to both Indian and foreign merchants, the situations came to a boil. So now, where it was a compulsion to pay the taxes for foreign merchants also, so there also Britishers did not want to pay the taxes. So here in this situation, the situation came to a boil. He ordered that the British should not fortify the factory, pay the taxes as per the rules and trade as per the terms and conditions. So British did not want to pay the taxes. The provocation was enough for Siraj to opt for war, and he succeeded in expelling the British from Calcutta. So at this moment of time, Sirajuddaulah thought to opt for a war, and he was succeeded in expelling British from Calcutta. So he had a success, and he defeated British rule, and he removed British from Calcutta. The British counter-attacked under the leadership of Robert Clive. So Robert Clive was a member of British. Clive bribed Mir Zafar. So Clive was a bribe person. He bribed Mir Zafar, the commander-in-chief of Sirajuddaulah. So Mir Zafar was the commander-in-chief of Sirajuddaulah with a promise to confer the throne of Bengal to him. So the British commander Robert Clive gave some money or some other, or he gave him bribe to Mir Zafar to convince Sirajuddaulah to get the throne with his side. So with the help, Robert Clive defeated and murdered Sirajuddaulah in the Battle of Plassey. So it was a technique which had a trap, or which acted as a trap against Sirajuddaulah. The bribe given by Clive had faced a turning point in the history, and it created the Battle of Plassey. This was the first year fought by the company, in which marked the beginning of the British rule in India. Thus, this war is considered to be a turning point in the history of India. So, after giving bribe to Mir Zafar, then giving a false promise to Sirajuddaulah regarding throne and all, and he convinced him to join by their side. So, Robert Clive took the advantage, and he defeated and murdered Sirajuddaulah and in the Battle of Plassey. So, in this way, Clive defeated Sirajuddaulah. Now, let us see Battle of Buxar. As promised, the East India Company appointed Mir Zafar as Nawab of Bengal. Now, the chief in commander of Sirajuddaulah named Mir Zafar. Now, as Sirajuddaulah was no more, then the East India Company as promised Mir Zafar to make him Nawab of Bengal, so they did it. So Mir Zafar was now appointed as Nawab of Bengal. After as Sirajuddaulah was by his side, and he was the chief in commander. Mir Zafar was the chief in commander of Sirajuddaulah. Robert Clive also went back to England. With the passage of time, Mir Zafar became hostile towards the British. The company decided to replace him with his son-in-law Mir Qasim. Mir Qasim was an efficient, disciplined and clever ruler. The problem arose between Nawab and the company on account of non-payment of taxes, as again the same problem arose regarding non-payment of taxes, then which ultimately brought both the forces face to face with each other. In 1763, Mir Qasim was defeated by the company, but he escaped. He recognized his army along with the forces of Nawab of Oudh, Shujauddaulah and Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II. Their combined forces met the company forces at Buxar in 1764. The British East India Company won the war, and all of a sudden Bengal, Awadh, Lucknow and Mughal Emperor was there under their control. So Robert Clive was sent to India to take control of the situation. That's how the East India Company, a trading company, emerged as the political power in the subcontinent of India. So that's all for today's class, students. Further, we will begin with next chapter of history in our next class. Thank you.